There have been quite a few discussions about what an artist should trade their business under. Should it be their personal name or should it be their made-up business name? Now, there's been quite a few heated discussions over the years about this, and I don't think that there's been a solution brought forward. However, I think I've found the answer to the problem. So in this video, I'm going to discuss the fors and against of trading under either name, and I'm also going to tell you what I think you should trade under. And I'm going to show you that right now. Trading under your personal name or your made-up business branded name is going to depend on your long-term plan. Now, if you don't have a long-term plan, you could wind up anywhere. So it's important to know where you want to be years ahead within your business so that you can then choose which one you want to trade under. If you don't have a long-term plan, my suggestion is spend a bit of time on deciding where you want to be in years to come, so that will then enable you to trade under the correct name. Trading under a personal name has quite a few benefits to it. When you make a piece, it says, there's only one of me. Thank goodness there's only one of me. But no, seriously, there's only one of them, and that piece is unique. It also says, I'm made with love, and there's a part of the artist within the piece that they have created. So that leads us to the other points. The customer purchases on a personal level. They identify with the artist and they identify with the piece. The piece has a story behind it. It's personal identity that customer associates with that piece. They connect with not only the piece, they connect with the artist. There is a face that they can put to the piece that's being created as well. To the trading under a personal brand, there is an identity there that they can put the face to the brand as well as the piece that's being created. Now, trading under your personal name can have a few drawbacks. One of them being your name if it's too long. Now, if you have a very long name, you're probably going to have to abbreviate it because it's going to carry across to your website and your email address, and that's just going to create problems because when people try and find you on Google, the chances are they're going to misspell your name. Now, yes, Google can come to the rescue and will probably bring up your name without an issue. However, when it comes to your email address, that's a different thing because there is nothing worse than trying to type out a long name and you're making spelling mistakes, especially without realizing it, and then you get a bounce back. And if you get two bounce backs, it can make it extremely frustrating. Now, yes, people should look carefully and type it out correctly, but we all know that that doesn't always work. So abbreviating your name is going to be important. There's been many situations where I have seen people become very clever with their names, or they have a very long name, and in actual fact, it's just created problems trying to find them or send an email to them. It's just frustrating. So the easier you make it, the better off it'll be for you in the long run. Now, the other thing with trading under your personal name is that as you grow, you cannot lose your branding, which is you. You still need to make time to get out there in the marketplace and push yourself because your branding is you. Without you, your brand will not exist. So as you get busier, you still need to make more time to get out there to push you. Now, the other thing is that people now identify with you on a personal level. So you are not going to connect with everyone. You will connect with some people and you won't connect with other people. Because remember, it is now at a personal level. So you have to be aware of that you won't connect with everyone. If you decide to diversify, it makes it harder to diversify. Because if you are currently doing mosaics and you want to get into something completely different, you will be known for mosaics, but not necessarily for the other areas. So diversification can be more difficult. It's not that it can't be done. There are successful brands out there that have traded under their name and they have diversified quite well. So just be aware of that as well. If you are going to be going to other areas, then that can make it quite difficult. And that's what I said about knowing your long-term plan. So that's a few of the issues or a few of the drawbacks with trading under a personal name. Now, there are benefits to also trading under a made-up branded name. And one of them is that you can grow the business beyond personal. When you trade under your own personal name, that is exactly that. It's personal. You are the face of that brand. When you are trading under a made-up branded name, that brand is the face of the business, which allows you to have someone else looking after that brand if you choose. If you don't want to do it, you can delegate it to someone else and they can grow that brand really without too much involvement from yourself. It also allows you to then set up and diversify into, say, 5 or 10 different other things under the one brand, because you now have an umbrella brand, which means that diversification is going to be easier because you're not just known for one thing. So you're immediately taking out that personal touch. But in saying that, you still have to connect with your customer. Your brand still needs to connect with the customer to grow and be successful. But it does make diversification easier. The other thing too is that you can immediately look bigger because you now have a branded name. It's not reliant on you personally. So you can look bigger to people out there in the marketplace, your customers, than you actually are. The other important factor to this is that, and I realise not all artists are going to be doing this, but another important factor is that if you decide to sell further down the track, then you now have a brand to sell. It's not reliant on you personally, as in you're now not the brand. So if you're involved in other projects that may not necessarily be creating art, you now have a brand to sell. So there are a few of the important things that you need to consider when you are looking at trading under a made-up branded name. Now, if you're looking at trading under your made-up branded business name, that also has a few drawbacks. And one of them is that your brand can become irrelevant overnight. The retail landscape is littered with businesses that have been around for 30, 50 and 100 years and are no longer with us, or at the very best, they're struggling to survive. Now, as time has progressed, and in this day and age, the businesses have become irrelevant quicker than what they used to be. So it is very important to maintain that connection with your customer base to stay relevant. It's not like trading under your personal name where your personality can help you along the way. The only thing you really have is your brand. So you need to be able to get that out there and stay relevant to your customers to be able to grow. Because it is very easy to lose direction, and in doing so, your brand becomes irrelevant. The other thing is too, people can always see your brand as just another business because it doesn't have that real personal touch like trading under your name does. Your customers need to identify with your brand because that personal touch doesn't exist, that trading under your personal name does exist. So there's a few of the downsides to trading under a made-up branded name. Now that we've discussed some of the pros and cons about trading under a branded name or your own personal name, we'll now look at what I think you should trade under. Before I continue on, I just want to put a footnote to the video. The pros and cons that I put forward earlier are only based on my personal opinion. They have no bearing. They are only my thoughts and nothing else. So I just wanted to put that out there so that you're aware of that. Okay, let's get on with it. Drum roll, please. Good drum roll. Okay, if you're an artist and you're going to do just art and create art, trade under your personal name. If you're someone that's going to be branching out into other areas or other businesses, then create a branded business name so that you can trade under. I hope that helps you. I hope that clears up this problem that's been around for many years. And I will see you in the next video. Enjoy.